leaving.
I explained this to you while you were here.
Fine.
Alright, so last time, this is mostly for bait, but last time, you had a little bit of a scuffle. You managed to kidnap the drug dealer alive.
Is that what you call it? A scuffle?
I'm
Two of us
one
nearly died.
HP.
3 of
Two
the
of us
party members.
nearly.
If 3 party members get downed, that's going to be elevated to a disagreement, but only 2, so we're fine.
What if one dies?
2 dying.
Scuffle.
2 get down and then 1 flashes her tits.
That is
Scuffle.
domestic abuse, probably.
It worked though.
It did work.
Somehow worked.
Do not think that
Not
this is a
domestic
long-term solution.
It's
Do not
sexual
try and
assault.
flash a Tarask.
It's just going to be a recurring thing now.
I hate it. Do
I
it.
can't whip my tits out. Be appreciative. I'm wearing a corset.
I've probably got tits under there somewhere. I could
You
help
can
out.
flash your ankle though, and that is just as sexy.
No, I'm wearing boots.
Yeah.
You can. Your ankle is still like under the like. You can
True,
still
but it's
do
not
it.
really the same.
Could
Show
it, like,
them your
zip down the
Pokemon
side?
collection.
Oh,
To
now
a
we're
foot
talking.
Fetishes, it will be, and I have a story for that.
Okay,
I'm
look,
selling Gamer Girl
please,
feet pics. I need a new
let's-
mouse. Please buy them. $20.
alright. I've started the stream, so now you've just advertised your feet pics to everyone. Thank
I'm
you.
not serious.
Cheers.
Unless someone actually wants to buy me a new
you
mouse.
need money.
17 and I won't go any higher.
I'm not. Do not barter for feet pics on my fucking stream.
I mean, I'll settle for ankle.
No. Anyway,
I mean, you
last
had a
time.
femdom thing,
Fuck,
right?
God damn it.
Anyways, let
I can
Liam
make that.
continue his fucking recap.
So last time there was a fight and 2 people got downed. But
That's an understatement.
no, but you didn't die. You're fine. Both the dwarfs are currently sat at a comfortable 1 HP. Well, Michael sat a little bit higher than that because you used cure wounds.
I'm at 10.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You got,
because Biddy healed
Got
him
a-
some.
yeah.
And then I
Um,
ran away immediately.
Other notable recaps from last session is that Biddy flashed her boobs. It worked, surprisingly enough.
Probably the only party member that didn't get to see it, so that's great.
No,
No, we didn't see it either.
Aaron
Oh.
and Aaron's babysitter didn't see it because someone decided to get incredibly high.
He didn't decide to. He just happened.
No, he decided to.
He's the thief.
Yeah, I
mate.
just I
He,
100%
he
decided.
yeah, he
Okay.
decided to.
I 100% was like, fuck it.
But yes, that's led to
He
you,
paid for it.
even
It's
with
like me back
2
in-
members
Yeah, I
out
didn't
of
have to pay for it.
commission, and oh Jesus Christ, bait!
Pick up the phone.
The stream's
Thought that was
going
like an
I
ad
don't know
well.
who
break.
it is. They keep calling me.
Yeah. But even with 2 members out of commission, the rest of the party, despite some disagreements, managed to eventually take down the drug dealer and his guards through one meaning or another. He is now unconscious, tied to the back of the horse with a Gorg watching guard, mending his wounds, while the rest of you are relaxing, sat out on the grass, just enjoying the music of the festival and just relaxing and letting the nice cold night air wash over you.
Ow.
Some of you either recovering from getting bitten by someone who's high, getting extremely high, or actually genuinely being in danger.
Ow.
What did you do?
I got shot.
And stabbed.
And you pulled out of me.
Yeah, because you were a little bitch.
Well, now I'm even more of a bitch because now my arm hurts more.
Next time, don't
I have
start
bandages.
combat without consulting the rest of the party.
I saw a window and it was closing fast.
It was
Because
essentially just a flip the table moment. It was great.
Yeah, it worked.
who was it? I forget who it was, but those drugs were about to go straight up a party member's nose, and I had to.
It was
take
gonna be
them.
Michael.
It was
yeah.
mine.
Yeah.
Michael.
Gonna go
I
straight
mean,
up Michael's
otherwise,
nose.
would it really have worked if he's like, guys, should we attack like right in front of him? That's not how it works. I think he would have been
No, but it
suspicious.
would've- Nice to have some forewarning.
Well, the forewarning was me.
What's the throwing it?
Like typically, like just typically
You could have at least said yeet.
starting combat.
I mean, I know we're at a festival, but we were working, so we should always be on edge, okay?
You could have at least said yeet.
You know, you have a point. I could have said yeet, and I.
What I will say, as a DM, it is nice to discuss plans before you go in, but no one would have known what was going to be in that tent. And as far as George was concerned, it did work because he was affected by the drugs throughout the combat. So
But he was a wizard, so
I
that
mean, I think it worked.
I did think in the back of my head, this might do nothing, and this might just be really awkward.
But anyway, you all eventually managed to take him down using the power of some teamwork and a lot of
You're
drugs.
welcome.
Power of friendship.
And now you're all...
Something working a lot of drugs.
Mikolash eventually managed to recover from the drugs a little bit. He's still feeling a little bit dizzy now. A little bit like there's cotton wool stuck in his brain, but he's recovering relatively fast. Meanwhile,
It's just an all
Biddy
day.
Biddy managed to secure some of her own drugs, considering that was a relatively stressful experience, and she's looking for a way to calm down now. Are you going to try the cigarette again? Because you tried it last time and you only got a little bit of a buzz on.
Yeah, I'm gonna try the cigarette again.
Alright.
I really want
You're
to
gonna,
see High Biddy.
you going to take a big puff or a small puff or what?
Small puff, because I already took one small puff.
Alright. I'm going to say constitution check, constitution save.
Okay. Gibbs sec.
Oh,
Jesus
what
You
the
okay?
fuck?
Christ!
Yeah, I almost dropped my knitting needle.
I thought someone
Just
fucking
one of
broke
them.
into your house.
I thought there was a spider on your hand or something.
No, I could tell it was definitely something being dropped. Don't worry.
I got flashbacks to a 911 call that I listened to.
Jesus.
Excuse me.
Jeez, just like the sudden scream.
Yeah. But you take another puff from this thing, you're starting to feel the effects now. It's starting to feel like everything in front of you is slowly getting further away, despite the fact that nothing's moving. You get the feeling that it's definitely starting to take effect.
Bless you.
Hell.
Jeez, coronavirus.
Bless you.
And then
Coronavirus.
yeah, that's
No,
not
you don't
it.
sneeze with coronavirus. Virus, that's fine.
Everyone go to a different channel in
Server.
Discord.
We need to isolate.
Yeah.
Social distancing.
Yeah.
Your
Um,
computer will get coronavirus, not you, so it's fine.
A virus, a computer virus. That wasn't funny. Carry on.
wow.
It was
But
funny.
No,
I liked it.
it was no.
Sweet. Thanks, bro.
Don't
We're friends
humor
again.
him.
Cool.
But
High five.
yeah, Biddy, you slowly start to watch the
Ow,
world sink
fuck.
away from you, and you're slowly starting to relax and let the weight of the shoulder and the night just brush off you, and
I
you'll.
can only babysit one person. You're gonna have to get one of the dwarves to do it.
You don't need to
Ow.
babysit me.
I want to. I'm committed now.
You're such a. You want to be the mama hen so bad, but Biddy's got you beat.
No, wasn't it decided I was a sister?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, you're like the big sis.
Yeah.
So you got to look everyone while mommy has her wine time.
Her mummy time.
Oh god, I hate that.
A special
Mommy's
mummy
having a
incense.
Special nighttime juice.
Yeah.
It's more like a nighttime smoke, but yeah.
That's what it's a special mummy incense.
Mommy's having a nighttime fag break.
You're right.
Yeah, boys, yeah.
Regthon,
Actually-
you're just sort of looking back at the pile of gore near the horse, and then you're just looking around this place. It's not what you're used to, but it does kind of remind you of the home where you came from, where there were a lot of tents set up, and it all seemed very sort of primitive, but everyone was happy with where they are.
Is
You-
Regthon with us?
Yeah, Regthon's with you guys.
Okay.
The
Can I
only one
offer him a
separate. Sure.
If you're behind us, I'll like lean back, and be like, so one of these, and I'll hold up a cookie towards you.
Yeah, why not?
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
Is there actually a cookie this time, or is there still an empty hand?
I'm
Has he
not
recovered
high, so I'm fine.
As much.
If you want to take a bite of the cookie, roll a d20.
Oh no.
Oh god. We're never gonna leave this festival.
Alrighty.
There you go.
Hold on.
We're gonna have to put 2 people on the back of this horse.
Ooh. You take a bite of the cookie. It tastes kind of nasty, like maybe a little bit undercooked. It's an oaty sort of cookie, whereas you're expecting chocolate or something a little bit sweeter. It's a
Oh,
little
fuck
dry,
this, it's
but
not chocolate.
But yeah, but it's all right. You know.
Cute by raisins again.
And as you hand this cookie to him, Aaron, you hear the first of signs that the cookies that you gave to the other people are starting to work.
What do I
And
see?
Oh boy.
as you look at the collection of people in their suits, the first thing you see is a guy going "whoa" really loudly, like around the campfire, and you watch as this guy that had blood all down his arm from an arrow that was pulled out by one of his friends. You watch as he just he looks at you, and then he holds his hand up, like he's not looking at you, he's looking at the hole in his hand, and the hole slowly starts to stitch itself together as his wound heals itself.
No problem. I told you.
I
When
just
did
wave
that
over at
person
him,
get
just be like,
shot?
"You're welcome for those anyway."
And
Gotcha.
then the guy next to him turns into a plant.
Nice, nice.
There it was.
Oh god.
The guy to
Which kind?
his left is really high. And as he sees this dude turns into a plant, he just pauses for a few seconds before he bursts into laughter. And then he starts coughing before he throws up what can only be described as a multicolored rainbow juice.
Tasty.
Just pink and yellow and blue and green, just going everywhere all over the floor.
Rape vomit.
Like as soon as I see this, all you see from Mikalash is he pulls out like a piece of like paper and starts. He's just writing stuff down.
The guy who's turned into a plant, he eventually comes back. Oh Jesus, Victoria, what the fuck have you just sent?
I did not do anything.
Oh god, shad base. Oh, nasty. But yeah.
No comment on my fucking mouth?
I enjoyed it.
The next guy, the guy who was turned into a plant, eventually he turns back to normal, but he's got a shaky look on his face, like this turned from a good high to a bad high very quickly.
He's having a bad trip.
That's what happens when you eat it, man.
The last thing that people see, the last thing that you see in terms of automatic effects is the green guy in the top right. He just, something starts pouring out of his leg before he falls over. His pants have been filled with grease, and it's rapidly just spilling out onto the ground. And people are trying to help him up, and they're also falling over into the grease.
Nice.
And it's
I'll
just a
probably
chain
just sat there
reaction.
laughing.
Come from?
It just spawns, as far as you can tell.
You don't want to know.
Yeah, I'm just sat there laughing, right in
Any
notes down.
orifices below the waist.
And yeah, everyone apart from George sees this. Meanwhile, George,
Yo.
Pet the horse.
you're sat there just tending to your wounds. You actually managed to, like, using a little bit of improvised materials that you have on you. You managed to plug up the hole in your shoulder a little bit.
Nice.
It's
Bit
not
of a
bleeding
heal.
for now, but you're going to need to rest on this. And you know it's going to hurt for a long while. But it's not hit anything serious, and as far as things have gone, you felt a lot worse. So, and you look at the horse. You've got the big baron tied up in the back of the cart. He's unconscious for now. You don't know how long he's going to be unconscious for. But if you plan on taking on the next contract, he's probably going to wake up before then. So, you spend a little while thinking up of a plan of what to do when you notice a presence sort of running, well, not running, but walking close to you, before it just stops. And you hear a muffled, "The fuck?" as the guy that was asking for tickets earlier comes over and just notices this pool of hands and feet and intestines and blood just all over the floor.
Hey, bud.
He
Official
he
guild
jumps out of his skin as you say, "Hey, bud," and he turns to you. He's like, What happened here?"
Yeah, I'm not dead yet. Don't worry.
What? No.
It's fine. We had a job to do, and we just did
He
it.
he turns and he looks at the body in the back of the cart and he's like, "Are you guys bounty hunters?"
No. We just work for the Magic Guild.
So you're here on contract work?
Somewhat.
Maybe.
He looks
Is
at you for a second before he sprints away and he shouts, "Bounty hunters!" And
Fuck.
everyone nearby either hides in their tent or they just fucking run.
Do
Like,
I hear this?
You hear this, yes. Everyone nearby hears bounty hunters. As these guys go into their tent, and then like everyone else just sprints into the fields.
I feel like
It's
I just like
basically the equivalent of shouting cops at a
Yeah.
frat party.
I just look
I like
around.
how they
and I'm
took the fire with them.
Yeah, I meant to set that as a map thing, but there you go.
Thank you. Thank you.
They put out the fire.
The two performers just get into their car and then fuck off.
I just look around the corner. I'm just kind of like, huh.
I like how the horses went separately.
Yeah.
I feel like as soon as I heard this, I would jump up, turn to the group, and be like, "Well,
Should
I
we get
think
out
this
of
is
here?
our time to go," and then I'll run this way.
Yeah,
Thank God we didn't reveal ourselves. Jesus.
I'd
I
like
just-
to
Gorg,
also get
what
out of here.
happened, Gorg?
Hey, dude. I did
Hey,
it.
You look you look good. Good
I've
job.
lost a lot of blood.
Yeah, I see that.
Check out the horse. Look what I got.
Do I see just Baron did?
I got the Baron, dude.
Yeah, you see
Well
this
done.
you see this
like-
tied up tiefling like just unconscious in the back of the cart with like his face just covered in blood and with his nose being like going the wrong direction.
I throw up my arms to just in celebration, and I'm like, I got the ow. Ah.
I'd just give him like a nice just slap on the back, be like, good job, buddy.
Attacked.
Thanks, dude. I got 1 HP, man. Be careful.
Can I come around the corner and be like, would you like a bandage?
Yeah, you do know you can move your character, right?
Yeah, I'm moving.
Hey.
Bandage?
Yes, please.
I'm not good at tying them up.
Just
I
use his
think
bedroll.
I've stopped the bleeding. I kind of need
Who's
Like-
better at medicine than I am?
Just
whatever
use your
you can do.
bedroll again.
Oh God. Yeah,
So
whatever.
you like wallowing in your own filth.
Check over the
You
tiefling and
check
see
over the
what he
wounds
does
that
on
he's
it.
already got there and it seems fine. If you want to check over the tiefling, I'm gonna say that's a medical check.
Yeah, just for anything, really.
Yeah, my meds are terrible, so
17.
anything anyone can do.
You check over his wounds. You reckon if you wanted to make sure that there was like, if you wanted to try and cure like his nose wounds, that would probably require quite a few cure wounds in a row. But if you're worried about him bleeding out, the wounds mostly seem like they're like not particularly. They haven't targeted anything especially bad. It's mostly cosmetic damage.
Seems more like just a bloody nose, like when you take a real punt to the face. I'm sure he'll be fine.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
it's,
can I go through his pockets as well? Does he have anything on him?
You
Uh,
already
I
went
I think
through
he was
pockets.
already
it
raided.
was looted by
Nice.
Ragthon,
I-
but
I don't know that.
yeah. You have a look through his pockets. It appears everything of value's mostly been taken. There's a little bit of weird powder in one of his pockets,
Don't sniff that.
but
I will pocket it.
it's literally like enough for like to get underneath your fingernails. That's it.
Okay.
I have
I
very
go
long
into
fingernails.
the wagon and I just pass the fuck out.
All right.
So we just see you like drop.
Well,
Well,
I
I guess she got her high.
Wagon.
Yeah.
Is she
oh, yeah.
alive?
Is who alive?
I see
Biddy.
Biddy like just drop essentially. I'm just like, she's fine. Just point.
Can I jump into the wagon and check for a pulse?
Sure, you can.
Well.
Do you want to do a medical check?
You didn't give me any instructions.
Sorry, I zoned out for it.
Oh no.
She's dead.
This is why I do medicine checks.
Yeah, you go over to this woman who's very clearly got her eyes open and is breathing, and you put your fingers up to her neck, and you can't feel anything, but
Well, she's dead.
she's not
but
dead,
she's
but you
breathing,
can't
I
feel
see.
anything.
Well, I can't find a pulse.
Yeah, it's on the neck.
I think that says more
here,
about you
not
than
there. Just gonna.
Please stop touching me.
her.
I'm sorry.
Oh, we thought. But I didn't.
You just dropped.
I pointed, but we
I'm
thought
very
you died.
tired. I'm gonna take a nap.
Yeah.
Enjoy your nap.
The cart feels like nice velvet to you in your high state,
It's like gross, like worn out wood.
with bits of blood on it because you've decided to store a guy with a destroyed face on it.
Hey,
Which-
where else was I gonna put?
Biddy is now using his pillow.
So
Oh,
how
that's
long
good.
before he wakes up do you reckon?
He took a. I mean, I didn't see it, but a comet really. Oh wait, no, I bonked him on the head, didn't I?
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
it
No,
not.
that was
Yeah.
someone else, wasn't it?
Comet also
Yeah.
did kick him in the head.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's had a couple concussions. I think he'll.
He's gonna
I'm just
have
more on about
brain
the
damage.
other contract we've got if we're going to have to go back to town first.
I mean, I don't think it's a good idea to carry around a passed out.
Yeah, I think we should probably bring him back
Person.
first.
Yeah, I guess.
Even if he's not going to cause trouble, it would probably be trouble if someone saw it.
Good shout.
Yeah, probably. I mean,
Prisoner
we've
would
got
be-
things we can show that we're part of the guild, but probably best to.
It's getting pretty late. I could really use an actual bed to sleep in.
Well, you're gonna have to camp up somewhere before we hit town. It's a while away.
Oh, okay. Well, let's just get a move on. And then if we have to camp
Alright.
up, we'll camp up.
Right, who?
I'll look at Regthon and be like, did you check his tent for any more of the sand? Because I know the guild wanted some for.
Oh, I completely forgot about that.
Yeah,
Good memory.
I got a little bit.
Nice.
Yes. Last session, Regthon searched and he found 2 bags, pretty
Cool.
much.
You're not supposed to give it away. I gotta get my food.
I mean, I don't know that. I know you have.
We
some
were
on.
having around. We were
Did
in
we
a very
get- I
public.
vaguely remember. Did we get paid like for the amount that we found?
Yes.
You
if
get paid an amount for how much you find, and you get paid a set bonus if you manage to bring back the drug dealer alive.
It's 100 capture and 50 per bag.
Damn.
Mm,
Okay. Well, if you search the whole tent, I'm sure you got all of it.
Yep, that's what I assume.
Yeah.
So
And
we should be
everyone who
making
had any ran off. So.
a nice amount from this then.
Yay.
Well, let's get going.
Alright.
Can I turn to Mikalash and be like, well, what about your little side business?
Yeah. I made a bid, not as much as I was hoping. I'll throw out 10 gold.
What did you do? Did you get another bounty?
I did a little thing for our friend at the windmill.
A
I don't think
thing?
you need to be involved. It was.
It was. He asked me to observe what these kind of parties were like, and just what sort of crap these drugs do. Because they kind of are competitors to him because of his cookies.
Oh, did they do anything?
I did well. The fuck, what was the thing called?
Hmm?
The good. I what was the
Gutra?
stuff
Gutra
I
tree.
took? Good. Yeah. Well, what I took is some sort of hallucinogen. Weird. It was nuts. It was good.
It was good shit, bro.
I don't know about the sand stuff. I don't know. It sent them crazy. It looked like people were told to stay off it, but hopefully these will be as good as our friend needs.
You seemed like you had a good time.
Yes, I did. I'm going to telepathy her as well and be like, sorry about the everything again. There's the extra gold there for compensation. Let's say.
I've sent that text in the morning before. Jesus.
We awkward? Is it
Got
fine?
the extra gold as well.
Thanks for taking care of me. I owe you one. I love you.
I'll just. Yeah.
Sorry for
it's
barfing
fine.
all over your stairs.
Again.
Well, let's head off then and see if we can find somewhere to rest.
I'll
I
just
agree.
respond telepathically. It's fine. It's any time.
Well, I mean you're dead, so if you need anything, give me a call.
Someone else can
DM
take
me.
shotgun.
Yeah.
Someone else can take shotgun. I'm just gonna lay down in the back.
Yes. Okay, so
I'll
Gorg.
shoot them.
Okay, so Regthon sits up the front, although you don't want to try and pilot it today, because without your co-partner telling you how to actually ride a horse, you have no clue, and it scares you. So
Do
who's
I know how
gonna?
to ride a horse?
Do I have any experience from my fancy background?
Well, let's see what you roll if you wanna. Who wants to do it?
Me, because I'm well
I've only
traveled.
got
I mean,
animal handling of 1, so I don't know if I can give any good advice.
I
You
was
c-
more thinking.
Sorry, I only have one as well.
Yeah.
I have none.
I have two.
You're more used to riding around in carts, usually with a driver. You're
True.
Riley.
I'm gonna go pee. Sorry.
Okay.
What about me?
Just do it off the
Guys?
edge.
You've rid the occasional horse, but you've never owned one, and you've never had one long term.
So I know how to.
You've
ride.
never had explicit lessons, but you've seen enough people ride it to sort of pick up the reins relatively fast.
I look at like a half-dead crew and I'm like, well, I've kind of ridden horses, kind of seen people. I can probably deal with it.
It's
Maybe.
easy. You just grab the reins and you just pull a little bit to the left to go left, but a little bit to the right to go right. If you needed to stop, pull back, and if you needed to go faster, just give her a gentle whip, and it's fine. Don't worry
Um,
about it.
I'm like, Actually, I have an idea. What do you know? What sort of fruit stuff she likes? I know you bought some treats for her.
Oh, good shout. I can give you a couple animal feed if she needs some.
Did you buy like apples as well, though, like for special occasions?
I don't think I did. No,
Didn't we
I
buy
think
carrots?
you've been playing too much Red Dead Redemption.
I've
No,
not
didn't
played
we buy?
Red Dead.
I thought we bought
I thought we
carrots.
yeah, no, I thought we bought
You
something.
bought carrots.
Did I?
Check
Yeah.
your inventories.
I don't have any carrots.
If it's not in your inventories, then you didn't add it, and that's on you.
I don't remember buying carrots.
I thought-
I'm pretty sure we bought carrots. I don't know
Yeah,
who
we
got
bought
them.
carrots.
If
yeah,
we
no,
if,
I
definitely bought them.
remember.
if you bought them but you haven't added them to your inventory, I'm not gonna let it count.
Are you sure this wasn't just a case of you not saying add it to your inventory because you're you?
If you bought something with money, I'd assume that you take the money out and you add it into your own inventory.
Yeah,
by your
I've
own.
been pretty good with that. I think I
Yeah.
would have put it.
I didn't buy them.
I thought we did. Well, like I'm guessing I know what sort of thing horse is like. I've got a plan. So when I'm going to ride the horse, I'm going to minor illusion like a little apple floating
Okay.
on it.
Like a carrot
or
on a
something,
stick.
or like essentially, yeah, and see if
Alright.
that does anything for her.
That could work.
Make a animal handling check.
No advantage.
No.
Nah,
Oh, wow.
Nat 20.
Yeah, the horse hasn't been fed for a while, and it's relatively late at night, and it's a little bit tired
Jogog.
from the fight that it had. But
The quote unquote fight.
instead of
Kicked
just
him out.
being like suspended
match.
from like a piece of rope like most apples, it's just sort of floating there. And it like Comet sees this as just a regular apple, and she takes forward to try and take a bite, but it gets away from her, and pretty soon she's working her way up to a trot.
Yeah.
As you start to slowly leave
Fast
the
as she's ever gone.
carnival. It doesn't last for too long. Eventually she starts to get bored of the apple, but it's good enough to get her going down the path.
If you got bored, I would maybe change it, see if that did anything.
Yeah.
See if she would.
But
keep
for
up
now, you
Turn it
slowly.
into a really attractive female horse.
She is a
That's
female horse.
horse.
Oh,
Nah,
hey,
I
Dressing
got
up horse
2020,
as a
dude.
lesbian.
Don't be
Lesbiist.
don't be homophobic towards our horse.
But
I'd like to sit in the front,
okay.
not to co-pilot, but just keep
Um,
company. I think.
Well, halfway through, you slow down the car. Regtharn is still in the front, and there's only really enough seats for two.
Oh, I thought he was in the back. Fair enough.
No, but if you want to have him on your lap, like, or if you want to swap
No.
places,
No, I was just thinking like if he was sitting up there alone, I didn't want to
no,
sit. Up
no, it's
that's supposed to-
Regtharn
okay.
and
Okay.
Mikolash. Where do you plan on going? Bearing in mind it's in the middle of midnight and most of you are tired, you're probably going to want to set up camp somewhere.
Yes, let's
Probably
camp
I
up.
would head back towards the town, just looking for a place.
Okay.
Like maybe ride for a little bit, not too long, and then find a place to sit up and
Do the rest of
Rest.
you agree to heading straight
Yeah.
home?
I'm down.
Yeah.
I'm passed out in the back. So.
Is it a dry cough?
What?
Was it a dry cough?
She's in Texas. You're fine.
This is not the point.
What the fuck
I'm
is
worried.
a dry cough?
Because it's a dry cough if you have corona.
But what the fuck is a dry cough?
Like there's no slime or anything.
Oh no, it wasn't.
It's all phlegmy, baby.
So, whereabouts do you guys set up camp? Are you going in an open field where you have like good sight lines? You stopping in the forest again?
probably a clearing somewhere in the forest.
We
if
still
can
haven't
find one.
found a spring, clean spring.
No. Well,
Damn it.
these are just
Wait,
forests.
prison
The
with us.
springs are relatively rare.
We're gonna have to take turns watching the prisoner. I really want someone to keep eyes on him.
Mm.
Yeah, but he's in the back of you at the moment, so
Well, like if we set up camp, then I
yeah,
think-
whoever's on watch, I would assume would.
I can stay on watch.
Yeah,
Sweet.
same.
Alright. So soon enough you take the path back using the map that was given to you by the adventurers last time. And
Yeah.
you slowly start to make your way through like the thick grass. And soon enough you find a little clearing. It's pretty close to where you set up last time. It's not the exact same place, but soon enough you roll out your bags on the floor and you will start to relax. Who's going on watch?
I can stay on watch. At least for a while.
Okay.
Well, wake me. I'll say to her, wake me up when you're done. I'll go next.
Alright.
I mean, I could stay up all night. We can switch in a few hours.
Yeah, I'm not fussed. These lot probably need a rest anyway. We kind of got off free from all that.
Yeah, I'm probably the one in best shape right now.
Yeah, probably.
Thank
Yep.
you.
You're welcome, God, to give him just another pat on the head.
He's
pat on the
holding his shoulder still.
head. Yeah, we'll take watch. You lot should rest anyway. And
Alright, sounds good.
Alright.
well, enjoy your sleep.
Yeah. Biddy, you didn't really manage to get much sleep in the cart considering you were moving and it was only about 20 minutes. But now resting on actual, like, solid ground where nothing's shaking, it's kind of relaxing and pretty soon you pass out. Your dreams being filled with drug-infused nightmares.
That sounds
That'll
horrible.
happen.
For you, Gorg, it takes a while for you to pass out too. Your shoulder really fucking hurts. Like, this is not just today's troubles, because you've been sustaining quite a bit of injury over the last few days.
And those ales were really heavy.
They were.
Yeah, the vomiting kind of
work
did
out.
you in.
Yeah. This was the first time that you had truly felt your life was in danger, Egthon, today. It was the first time when you had been attacked by another human in a long while. And it was scary for you, but you're still proud of yourself that you managed to make it through the day. And
Yeah, I did it.
yeah, you did it. Mikalash, it's weird going to sleep with the safety of knowing that there are other people watching out for you. But
Yeah.
but soon enough you managed to find a little bit of comfort in it. Until only Riley. It's you on your own in the woods just looking out for this group of 5 and just enjoying the silence. You've not really slept in nature that much. You're used to having full, like,
This is
relatively
way below my standard.
relatively well done wallpapers and a roof covering you at any time. You may have slept in the garden or on a tree when
I
you
think
were
I've
younger.
gone camping, but yeah, on not on manor grounds, I guess is the right word.
But this far out from any city, it's kind of intimidating.
I think it's called glamping.
Well,
What I was thinking as well.
That sounds somewhat sexual.
No, it's glamorous.
glam camping.
Yeah.
I know,
It's a
but
thing.
still.
I mean, you can make it.
Hey boys, wanna go glamping?
Hey, girl. Sorry.
But yeah. Oh,
Ooh, shit.
oh shit, hold on. 1 second. But yes,
Oh, no,
as
what are you
you're...
rolling?
I'm not rolling anything.
Rolling a fat blunt.
No, that's Biddy.
But yes, Riley, as you're keeping guard, it seems relatively uneventful for a few hours, and then you start to hear a little bit of whispering. You can't really make
you
out
for the
what it
inversion.
is.
Really?
Do you want to make a perception check?
Yeah. It's not gonna be good.
Oh,
Oh god.
You don't really get where it's coming from for a while, but you listen very closely with nothing else to really do, and eventually you manage to triangulate the source, and you see that it's Mikalash speaking in his sleep. But the moment you actually manage to pinpoint the sound, he stops and turns over, and the night is
Oh.
quiet again.
Is he speaking actual languages this
You
time?
couldn't make it out.
Alright.
Are you rummaging around in a toolbox, bait?
No, it's just my little knitting box shuffling around. It's fine.
Jesus, alright.
Are you knitting while we're playing?
Maybe.
But
I mean, I'm not judging.
the next few hours go by relatively uneventful before you start to feel yourself get really tired. Are you going to wait until the sunrise, or are you going to wake
How
up?
long is it till the sunrise?
Well, you went to sleep at about midnight, so it could be anywhere from between 6 to 8 hours
That I've been awake or till the sunrise?
until sunrise. You would have been awake for about 30 hours by the time the sun had rose.
I mean, if I can stay up for another hour or two and then wake him up.
Alright, so are you waiting until sunrise, or are you just going to have
She
a...
said
No, you said it was 7 hours till sunrise.
Oh, okay, yeah. You stay up for a little bit longer, nothing interesting happens, and then you eventually go and try and nudge Mikalash awake.
Anything eventful happen?
I mean, you had some cute whispers.
I did.
I don't know what you said.
Well, if I knew, I would let you know. But I have no idea what you're on about, so.
Well, I guess we know now that you talk in your sleep.
Apparently so. Well, anyway, have a nice sleep yourself.
Thank you.
Then get up, sit somewhere where I can watch where the prisoner dude is as well, like the cart and
Yeah.
around.
You
I feel like
basically.
it's in my character for me to just go and then maybe just fart a little bit.
Yeah,
and then roll over.
you hear the.
Can I be mildly disgusted by this before I fall asleep?
Only
Yeah, sure.
mildly.
It makes you stay awake for an extra 5 minutes as you just think about how gross it was
Cool.
before you eventually pass out. Mikolash, roll a perception check.
I can.
That one.
That's 11. You sat there for a while. You make sure that the prisoner isn't going to move. He twitches a few times in his sleep, but he doesn't appear to have woken up fully. He's still unconscious, and he still probably will be for a while. And everyone else is pretty sleepy as well. Eventually the sun starts to rise, and you hear birds tweeting. It's not proper morning yet. You reckon that considering how injured everyone was yesterday and how little you've been awake, you're probably going to let them sleep until the sun's fully up.
Yeah, no, I'd probably let them get a little bit
Mm.
extra than usual, just because I know they struggled, and I kind of felt bad for. I feel bad for not being able to help.
Yeah,
a bit.
but as you are sat there, you hear giggling a little bit of ways into the distance, like maybe about 10, like 30 meters away, 30, 40 meters away.
Don't like that.
Maybe- Do I not know what it is?
You just hear
I-
giggling.
Is it like childish or?
It seems to be a girl's giggling.
That's the most horrifying.
Women.
Truly terrifying.
See, I would wake up.
Femoids.
I would wake up Riley, but she's tired. Sleep.
I mean, I'm the one who's probably in the best shape.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, that's why. See, okay, if I awakened mine someone who's asleep, what will that do? Will that essentially wake them up, or will that just
That
stop
they
that?
have to be conscious in order to have a full conversation with you.
I just imagine you like Inception style going into their dream.
Yeah, no, that's what I was hoping for. Just
And you just find someone playing a banjo and singing to a pig.
I'm just like I'm in like a fucking ale factory, and you're just like, hey dude, sorry to pop in.
I'm just dreaming of better situations. My thick duvets at home.
Not to mention you enter any member's brain and it's just a singular cobweb, and you're like, yeah.
standard.
That's
Yeah,
fine.
I'll probably because.
I mean, isn't awaking minding someone a bit like just talking to them while
Yeah.
they're sleeping, seeing what happens?
Yeah, yeah, but I'm talking in your head. It's directly in your mind. I'll shake Riley a bit. Like kind of like not trying to be like I'm panicked from this thing, like in case it fucking recognizes or something. But I'll just kind of slowly walk over and just give her a little.
All right, you
nudge
give her
with my foot.
you give her a little poke. Riley, make a
Okay.
Constitution save.
Where do I do that?
Where it says saves.
I haven't done saves
It's,
yet.
it's slightly to the
Saving
right of
throws.
checks.
Under proficiency bonus.
Above animal handling.
Left.
Oh, there it is. What did you say, Constitution?
Save, yeah. Just
Okay.
wait. Yeah, click it.
I did.
Did you? There you
there
go.
it
There we go.
Constitution save.
And before I get like another one in 5 minutes.
Yeah, you're pretty tired.
Oh, there it was.
Oh, I'm gonna take the first one. You're pretty
Sweet.
tired, and you're a little bit confused as you feel something prodding you awake. But soon enough, you wake up and you realize it's Mikolash, and he's staring
then
at something.
Straight away awakened mind. There's some sort of girlish giggling. I didn't really know what to do, so you're probably in the best shape to deal with it if it's trouble.
I'm probably still pretty tired. So are you sure it's not just Billy?
No, definitely not. It's a reasonable distance away. It's not from the cart.
I'll just rub my eyes and slowly get up.
Alright. You wake up, you slowly get up, you hear the giggling, it sounds like a girl's laughter, and but you're still incredibly tired and don't particularly care. What do you two do?
So, what's the plan? Because I don't know what the fuck this is. It could
I
be
don't
some.
know. You woke me up.
Yeah, well, I thought we could, discuss something. You're the sneaky type. You might be able to get around and see what it is. Because my other plan was just shout for it. So.
Yeah, that's a horrible idea.
Yes, exactly. I mean, I was going to also fire spells at it if it was anything dangerous, but
Yeah, that's not good either. I
Yeah,
think
no,
it's
it
a
could
good
just be a
idea
s-
you
it
woke me
could
up
just
if
be a-
that was your plan.
well, I wanted to, not have all you die. That would be an
I
inconvenience.
appreciate it.
So, do your, rogue things.
I guess I'm gonna do my rogue things.
Such a man. Just like do the
Do the thing.
Alright, so what, is Mikolash staying with the party while you go check it out?
What I'm watching over the party
Yeah.
as much as I possibly
Can you watch over me?
Well, but keeping my eye, and I will prepare a Eldritch Blast in case this thing wants to eat us.
Alright. So I assume you're gonna sneak in and see what,
I guess so.
Alright, make a stealth check.
Yeah, because I know how she, Uriah can just disappear. It seems to us. I want to.
Yeah, this I can do.
Because I know sometimes she'll just pop away and no idea where she is.
You're tired as hell and you don't quite know what you're looking for, but your instincts seem to kick in as you stick to the shadows of the trees and you move slowly, avoiding any sticks or anything that could make noise in the ground. And soon enough you come across what appears to be like a relatively clean river. And in the middle of it there appears to be two girls splashing water at each other and enjoying each other's company.
Don't
Do
wiggle.
they appear to be not human?
They appear to be, one of them's human, one of them is an elf.
I was thinking if they were like ethereal in some way, like a
No.
apparition.
No, they appear to be very much alive.
Alright, do we still have a mental connection?
As long as you're in 30 feet from me.
I don't know.
Wow, that was more towards Liam.
Yeah.
Is she roughly in 30?
I'll say that, if you go outside of the range, you can very easily go back inside and still keep an eye on the girls.
Well,
Okay,
yeah, I'd
so
like
yeah.
to do
Yeah.
that and
Yeah,
tell.
so you can have a conversation.
Alright. I see women, not clothed.
Okay.
Hold on. He never said they were naked, did he?
They were
I'm
in the
assuming if they're
river.
in the lake, they're naked.
Make a perception check.
Alright.
This is the hottest perception check.
I mean, it's no bitty titties.
No.
But you didn't get to see those.
I missed
True.
those.
I didn't even really know it until she reported back.
Why are your
I
checks
like
so
how that
slow?
rhymes.
Oh,
Bitty
9.
titty.
Yeah, you can't really see any clothes. Maybe they're just wearing fair-colored, underwear, but they're not wearing
Alright.
t-shirts or anything like that.
Well, just see women in a clearing in a lake having a good time.
Well, apologies for waking you up then. Seems like it's nothing.
I mean,
I wouldn't call it that.
could be.
Well, do they look dangerous? Do they look like bandits? Or they're trying to
They
eat
just
us?
look
or
like they're
something?
having a good time. I mean,
Well,
I'd like to come back in a few hours and have a bath, but that's just me.
I mean, you can bath at the river or wait till we get town. They probably have some sort of more fancier thing to your
Oh, true. Good idea.
enjoyment.
Oh, enjoyment.
She'd probably not want to fucking bath in a river.
But yeah, if there's no immediate danger, I'm just gonna sneak back.
And I say with the perception check, you see a few pieces of armor off to the side with maybe a couple of short swords, but they
That
don't
doesn't have
appear
to mean they're dangerous.
Yeah, but you don't
Sure.
see
Yes,
anything.
short swords too.
You don't see anything that implies that they would attack you.
Oh, I'm just gonna sneak back then.
All right, you sneak back, and then I assume you inform Mikolash of what you saw.
You
Well,
missed
yeah,
out on
maybe.
a lesbian threesome.
True. Missed opportunity.
Well, if it's nothing, you can get back to sleep if you want. My apologies for waking you up again.
What time is it?
Roughly what the sun's, I'm guessing, is just coming up.
Yeah, sunrise.
I'll just stay up. It's fine.
Fair enough.
It wasn't exactly comfortable anyway.
Yeah, no, not quite the glamorous beds you're used to, I'm sure.
Oh no. I long for my pillows. What?
I'm not used to traveling with people as well. I just nod over at Gorg as he made like just after.
He farted, and then Mikolash says, "I'm not used to people," and then you just look at Gorg, and he just scratches his ass, and then his hand stays there.
Does he really count as people?
Nah, he's like half a person, just like you.
Oh, thanks.
You are one
I'm gonna
collective
drink,
person.
please.
Yeah, together you're a people.
Yeah, if the two dwarfs ever discover super glue, you're fucked.
Yeah, no, we need a giant
like-
long trench coat.
Yeah, exactly.
Two
Just two
dwarves in a
dwarves in a trench coat. Yes, hello, I am adult.
Where is
I am
the
Yeah.
two-person.
Just reminds
The
me
thing
how
is,
my
I'm
youngest...
pretty sure Gorg is fatter than I am. So like, it'd be like one skinny person.
He's more muscly.
He's just thick.
I'm
With
like
like
a.
5
He's
Cs.
just
I'm
a
like a
big
He'd be
power
the
liquid.
bottom half, because he's...
Just got them hips.
They don't
He's like
lie.
Shakira, but a dwarf.
I'm
Beautiful.
like
Male.
a power builder kind of fat, so it's like there's a lot of muscle, but then like a lot of body fat. So it's like I could lift a house.
So you're
but-
big boned, yeah?
Yeah,
The biggest of bones.
I'm like
Yeah.
Eddie Hall basically, but tiny.
Eddie Hall is fucking ripped. He
Wait,
fucking
am I
lost a
thinking
lot
of
of
the right
weight.
person?
Yeah, no, the
I have
guy who went
no
for World's
idea who
Strongest
you're
Man.
talking
Yeah,
about.
yeah. I'm like a
Yeah, no,
tiny
he-
Eddie Hall.
He lost a lot of weight.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, he got fucking ripped.
Okay, I'm fat Eddie Hall.
Old Eddie Hall.
I literally
Yeah.
googled it and was like, yeah, no, that looks like what Gorg would be.
Yeah.
I'm not.
Oh, you'll have to send a picture because I don't know.
Yeah, I'm a short Eddie Hall with a long ginger beard and ginger hair.
But yeah,
I don't know who the fuck Eddie Hall
I don't
is.
know who that is either.
Don't worry.
I mean, I was thinking of
There you go.
this guy
There-
that I...
there's- so on
I
the
was
left
thinking
is
of
Gorg,
that one
and
I
that's- On the
posted.
right is what he looks like more
That's
recently.
literally about the thing.
I was...
Yeah. Oh, it's that guy.
Yeah.
No
You
idea
know,
who he is
it's
still.
it's funny. He looks short in comparison when he does World's Strongest Man. He's 6'2". He looks like 5'4" when he's in competing.
Because
Because
he's
all
so
the
wide.
strongest.
It's because wider than he is
No,
tall.
no, it's not that. All the other guys he's facing are like 6'6", 6'7".
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Monster people.
Yeah, no, absolutely fucking.
Can't
Bounce
relate.
a quarter off the dim titties.
Heck yeah.
So yeah, you're
So
the
yeah,
one on
that's
the left,
my
right?
kind of body type.
The one on the left, yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
I'd like
Just
to
say
say the
yeah.
one on the right, but I mean, I drank a lot of beer. Definitely must have a beer belly of some kind. I'd say midway between the two pictures.
And half the height.
Yeah.
But twice the width.
I'm just a big carpet.
Beautiful. Yeah, as
Just
you
like the other picture someone posted.
as you two are awake, Mikolash and Uriah, you talk a little bit. Uriah talking about how she's missing all of the luxury that she's become used to. Eventually, you hear a
Are we
horse.
just sitting on the ground?
Pretty much.
But I'd be sitting against whatever thing I was sat up when I was fucking watching over things. Just anywhere.
Eventually, you
Can I
hear
just
a
like
horse.
half asleep lean against him?
Sure.
Go for it.
Yeah.
Just like, yeah, half fall asleep again.
But-
Still, like, like, right on the edge. You know what I mean?
The one where you're like, oh, I'm just resting my eyes, but you're absolutely
Yeah,
not.
exactly.
100% asleep.
dead.
Yeah.
But yeah, eventually you hear a horse trotting in the distance. You get a feeling that the girls have left, and soon enough, the rest of you start to wake up. The sound of birds chirping slowly starting to awaken you as the sun beams down upon you all.
Good morning, y'all.
Good morning. How are you lot feeling after, well, last night?
Less like I want to die.
Well, that's a start.
Did you have any fun visuals?
Did I, Liam?
You had like freaky weed dreams.
Yeah, you dreamt that 2 slices of bread were trying to eat you in order to make you a sandwich.
What is with people turning into cheese?
Well, for Biddy, it was more like green eggs and ham. But
Rude. Well, I wouldn't say my dreams were exactly pleasant. They were rememberable.
Beautiful.
Fuck's
That's gonna be the thumbnail for the YouTube video.
I'm just gonna take on the role of making memes for your thumbnails from
Please
now on.
do. It's the best.
God.
Yeah. As you're all talking, you hear a mumbled, "What the fuck?"
Oh, I'll walk. If I hear him, I'll walk over. Oh, look who's awake. Hello, and I'll just lean over him.
Yeah, he spits at you.
I'll punch him just punch him in the side of the head.
Unarmed combat roll.
Is that just isn't that just like a strength check?
Yeah,
essentially?
strength check basically.
I mean, not 70.
Yeah, you immediately knock him back out again.
It's fine. He doesn't need to be conscious.
But I
I mean,
didn't
he
even
wasn't
mean
really
to-
bothering us.
I didn't even mean to knock him out. I was just pissed me off. But
All right.
well, that solves that problem, and we don't have to deal with him until we get to town, hopefully.
That dude's gonna have serious brain damage. Like, holy shit.
Probably has a concussion at least.
At least
Well,
one, yeah.
Not something
so
we're
y'all
gonna.
want to have some breakfast?
What is this?
Oh
Well,
yes, I would love some breakfast.
Oh, I don't know if I have it.
Please don't burn yourself on the water again.
I'm guessing we're just gonna take some rations because we all know how that went. To be fair, Biddy, you did a good job. Was it Biddy? I think Biddy did.
Yeah, it was Biddy.
Yeah.
What I'm gonna say, this is a new rule that I've been thinking about for a while. You still have to have one ration per day, but if you save your ration until the afternoon and you manage to forage your own breakfast, I'll let you have 1d4 of inspiration for any roll that you make during the day.
Oh, makes it worth foraging.
Yeah.
Mm.
Did I see something earlier when I was out?
No. You weren't looking for it.
Ah, true.
Unless
How's
you
my
were
HP?
wanted
Am
to
I up
commit
to-
cannibalism. Everyone's up to full HP. If you have a
Sweet.
long rest, that's basically a fresh restart unless you've got like a medical problem or something like, a
Cancer.
disease.
Like a hole in
Yeah.
my arm.
Coronavirus.
No, hole in your arm, you heal up fine.
Oh, okay, cool.
You're like Wolverine.
Yeah. Like a kind of slow Wolverine.
Just a bit slower.
Like for gameplay purposes,
say
you
mine,
are
though.
back to where you were the day before.
Yeah.
You still have like scars and bruising from the previous days, but
Sick.
you can fight at full capacity.
All right.
I am going to go see if I can find anything to eat for breakfast. Anyone want to come with me?
Yeah, I'm down. I feel
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, I can try.
Should I
Alright.
just stay here or?
Keep an eye on the
Oh yeah, of
Alright.
course.
dude.
Actually, you know what? I'm gonna stay with Mr. Wizard Man. I feel like I'll just watch
You
it.
don't
you
want
wanna keep me
to roll
company?
on that one again.
All right, I'll stay behind.
Should I join then?
I'll
do
probably
you
be
want
alright, man.
company?
If you wanna, I don't mind.
All right.
More eyes on the prisoner, the better, I guess.
All eyes on us.
Well, I'll try to find something for the both of y'all.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Biddy.
All right, so who's hunting and who's watching?
I'll watch.
I'm hunting.
All right.
I'm
Okay.
staying. Yeah, watching.
All right. Mikolash, Regthan, and Biddy, please make survival checks.
Out one.
Someone die. Someone.
Oh
die,
my
someone
god!
yes. Yes.
Well,
And Mikolash, you rolled a 5. All
Biddy
right.
trips on a ladybug and bonks her
just-
head open.
It's been like 12
No.
hours. We're like, man, they've been gone a long time.
No. I'm going to start from highest to lowest because it's more funny that way. Mikolash,
no.
you're not really used to staying in the wild.
Hang
The
on, I got
closest.
high.
That's not highest.
Yeah,
no,
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 I
no,
was
no.
very confused at that as
Liam,
well.
numbers.
What-
Remember
what?
I
that
went for the
numbers.
middle
It's
one.
the thing you
Yeah.
learned back at school.
You mixed up Michael and
Oh
Nikolai.
yeah, sorry, I got the M's mixed around. It's because you're both named begin with M. I think.
Hey,
Well,
Start
maybe
talking
Starting-
about N-words.
Yeah, starting with
Might make his name
Regthan.
his character game.
Yeah, starting with Regthan. You're not really used to surviving in the wild too often. The closest you've really got to this is like your uncle's farm. But eventually you manage to find a few little berry trees that are actually have some really decent edible plants. You find like it's not enough to fill you up completely if you're sharing them between the party, but you find enough to sustain you until you manage to find something a little bit more filling, which isn't going to be hard if you're heading to town.
Nice.
Mikolash, you're having a look around for something edible, but these forests aren't what you're used to. You don't know the plants here, you don't know the berries here, and you can't really seem to find any animals. You decide against picking up anything that looks dangerous because you don't know what would
if
fuck
it
you
wasn't
over.
anything I know for certain is not poisonous, I would
Yeah.
not take it.
Biddy,
I'm
Oh
scared.
no.
no, it's not. It's really not that bad. You
Alright.
He skulks poop and thinks, "Oh, that's tasty."
Chocolate.
Oh god, no, guys.
I gotta draw the line in the sand with that.
You know that Liam just
I
said,
mean, you
"Oh,
rolled a
guys,"
nat
but
one.
you know he's going to say something absolutely worse than that.
Oh yeah, definitely.
No, I'm not. I'm controllable. Well, why don't we find out?
I
Alright.
can read your subtle sarcasm from a mile away.
No. Biddy, you try looking for food, and it's really hard. Like, you see a few animals, but you don't have really anything to take them down, like small birds, even if you had a crossbow. You wouldn't be able to aim properly to take them down. And the berries and stuff here, they all look vaguely inedible, or at least gross, and like they wouldn't be enough nutrition to sort of sustain everyone. And you sit down for a little bit after walking, like you're still a little tired and you're just trying to catch your breath. And you sit on something soft, and as you look underneath you, you notice what appears to be some nice edible mushrooms.
Oh no.
Oh boy.
I don't know.
She's doing shrooms.
Now, you inspect these mushrooms, and they actually look relatively tasty. Like, they've got, like, this nice sort of texture that's almost marshmallowy, kind of. And
It's not dripping.
And the way that you know that they're edible is because they've got thin stalks. Like you've heard before that mushrooms with thin stalks are the edible ones. Do you take them? Do you try and eat them?
I'm 100% sure these are edible.
You're like 90% sure these are edible. But
I
you are
am going to take
100%
them.
sure that they won't hurt you if you were to eat
I'd
them.
say 95% because that's 19 out of 20.
What?
That's a math joke, and it didn't
Yeah,
land.
I
No.
Carry on.
Well,
Sorry there.
no, but like I said, like the worst thing that would happen if you were to eat these mushrooms is that they would taste nasty.
Yeah, I'll take them.
Alright. You managed to find about 5 relatively large-sized mushrooms. And as you pick them free, you notice a little bit of, like, green, like, liquid coming around the veins once you pull them
Oh,
free from the
don't-
stems.
oh.
But,
Don't say coming around the veins again.
no.
Yeah, please don't.
I sniffed said liquid.
It smells like minty, almost.
Stinky cum.
I
No.
licked
Shut up, sticky cum boy.
Looking at it, it tastes almost like caramelized. Like it's very thick. It feels like someone's added flour to like a minty sort of caramel or something. It's hard to describe, but it doesn't taste bad.
Can I like suck on it and like suck the juice out?
Oh god.
Ugh.
Guys, we're all above the age of 18.
And
Try
gonna
and
take note of
behave.
that.
That doesn't mean we're mentally above 18.
None of us are
Give me
mentally
one
above
Suck the juice
18.
out of the stalk.
I'm gonna need a 20-minute break. I'll be right back.
Yeah,
Like
can we
it's...
take a break now?
He needs to suck his own
Right.
juice.
Oh god, Jesus Christ! I hate you
Change my
guys.
nickname, dude. This is what happened.
Oh god.
Yeah,
But
you're kind of asking for this.
you try and like just like get some of the mushroom liquid out, and you get a little bit out, but you get a feeling that if you really want to get nourishment from this, you're gonna have to eat it.
I just fucking start munching on one.
Yeah, you munch on it, and it tastes like the juice, but like it's got a weird sort of almost leathery texture, but it's soft. It's incredibly soft, and soon enough you've eaten one almost like completely, and you feel fine. Like this seems like a decent food, like maybe a little bit basic, but it's definitely one of the sweeter things you've eaten from nature. Considering you're very used to meat, the taste catches you a lot off guard.
Well, I take the other 4 that I got back to the camp, and I'm gonna offer them to the others.
Okay. The rest of you,
Yeah.
like when you get back, Regthan is there with a handful of berries. He's already doled them out to everyone, but he's eating most of them to himself. Mikolash is making do with some of the berries that Regthan got in.
Gary, stop scratching.
But yeah, it appears they've all got a little bit of food, but you've got like some more, and yours looks tastier.
Hey, everybody! I got some mushrooms for everybody.
Oh, how lovely.
And I just
I'll pass.
I'll take one.
Oh,
How are they-
I
how
want
do
to
they
stay in
taste?
character, but I know too much.
I mean,
It's
would your
too much.
character be nervous, Gorg, if he was presenting mushrooms?
I mean, not really. No.
All right. I mean, would you
I
be
think-
full up though? Because bear in mind you've been eating berries for like the last 10 minutes.
Look at me, dude. Do I look like berries would fill me up?
All right. So, so
Okay, I guess
that's
I'm eating one.
so.
I'll take one.
Gorg is
I
eating
think
one.
Riley is pretty used to
Yeah.
high-class mushrooms.
So Gorg is eating one. Victoria is eating one, and Mikolash, you're eating one, right?
I love how I'm the only one being
Sorry,
referred to by my
I'm
name.
bad at names. Okay, that's the one thing I can't do. You're gonna have to let that go.
I don't know. I'd probably ask how they taste and stuff, and if she.
Kind of like minty caramel. It's pretty good.
Well,
All right,
Well, like a
man.
dessert, isn't it?
doesn't sound too bad. Yeah, sure, I'll take one. Thank you, Biddy.
So I hand them out and I look to Rack and I'm just like, you sure you don't want one?
I'm good.
You mind if I have your share then?
Yeah.
I just fucking eat it.
Yeah. The rest
You
of
gonna
you.
finish that?
Mikolash, you've tasted things like this before, and it's definitely like nice. Flavor's a little bit muted to some of the other fruits that you've had throughout Forest, but it tastes edible. Riley, you reckon that if like this was native to where you would have grown up, you would have seen this be used in quite a few dishes from how it tastes, because it's definitely a unique flavor. Gorg, this is incredibly sweet. You've not really tasted sweet things too much. You've mostly lived off a diet that's consisted of basic fruits, vegetables, and meats with a very low sugar content. So this sort of, it's a bit of a shock, but it tastes really nice.
Damn. Where'd you find this?
Just out and about.
This is awesome.
Yeah, I've had similar stuff, but nothing quite like this. This is good.
I mean, I'm used to my mushrooms being prepared, but it'll suffice.
I mean, you
course,
could
yeah.
have just like grilled it up if you wanted to.
No, it's fine. I appreciate it.
Well, I'm glad.
I appreciate the effort and that you tried to keep us alive.
Oh, that's such a rich girl thing to say. I appreciate the effort.
I was sheltered. I'm trying my best.
I mean, y'all, certain members of the party are easier to keep alive than others, and I just look at fucking Gorg.
Like, what? What?
Pet the horse.
I didn't hear what she said, and I just assumed she was talking about the mushrooms, so I just smile at her and say thanks.
It's good.
Well, I'm glad y'all like it.
Yeah, you'll finish a nice, hearty, healthy meal for breakfast. You all have a D4 now to use on a skill check.
I am not
during
gonna forget
today.
about this, Liam. I'm gonna remember this for however
Yeah,
many.
It only
You
applies
remembered
to
it last time
today.
as well.
And if you make it to the end of the session, I will remind you at the beginning of the next session, assuming I
Great.
also remember. I probably won't. You might want to note this down.
Wasn't the whole point of recording and streaming this that you could look back
Yes.
and remember?
Yeah, I know, but
There's
I'm
a-
not going to watch my own content. It's boring.
Above the proficiency bonus, there is a button for inspiration.
No one's going to press that, and even if they do, they're going to forget that they pressed it.
Just trying to help.
Yeah, I know. Don't think logically, because it's not going to help us.
Have a point.
But yeah, you've all got your D4 inspiration to use once throughout the day now. And I assume you get moving back to town, or are you going to go to your next contract?
Well,
I think
I
we
was
agreed
back
yesterday
down.
to go back, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
well,
let's get this dude back.
all right. Well, all of you feeling a lot better from your rest, and with woken up with a nice, tasty breakfast, you slowly start to get on the road, and you
Can
start
I check
to.
on his ropes just to make sure they haven't come loose or anything?
Sure. You inspect the ropes; they're still pretty tight. He hasn't really been awake since you
Oh,
tied
yeah.
him up. He hasn't had a chance to escape yet. But then again, you want to make sure just in case there's anything loose. But he seems relatively tight at the moment.
Cool. I'm satisfied.
All right, who's driving?
I'll get back on the horse,
All right.
as they say.
Do not get on the horse. That's a bad idea.
Is anyone
Yeah,
helping
I
him,
assume
or?
our standard
I'll help
people.
him. I've had pretty decent success.
All right. Biddy and Gorg, you both go to the front, and you slowly start to ride out as the rest of you keep watch on this guy in the back. And as you start to roll out, hold on, not so you make it through the same map that the previous adventures gave to you, saving quite a little bit of time on your way back to the city, and soon it feels like you're starting to remember the land because you've gone past this place a couple times now. What did I roll through?
Yeah. Also, when we near the windmill as well, I'll probably ask them if we can stop by the
Yeah.
Harrowed.
After an hour of journeying, you eventually manage to you see a single guy on the road. He's relatively short, but he's human. He's about 4'11". He's got on this circular hat, sort of like like an archaeologist. He's got a small pair of glasses, and he appears to be just like writing in a book as he walks along the road.
Is he like? Are we going to like run him over if we keep going?
No, he's to
Like-
the side of the road.
Okay.
But he doesn't. He
I
hasn't
just-
seemed to have noticed you yet.
How close are we?
You're about like 10 meters away.
Morning.
And he looks a little startled, and he looks up at you and is like, "Hello."
How's your day going?
Oh, all right. I'm looking for interesting specimens, and this place is boring, so I've not had much luck. What about you fellows? What are you doing going into a boring place like this?
Oh, we're just finishing up just a little job. We just gone out to do it, and now we're reporting back.
Oh, a little job. What are
Yes.
you, construction workers?
Oh, we
Really?
just do odd jobs for one of the guilds back in town.
Oh, you guys are bounty hunters.
No,
No?
no,
Sometimes.
we're just part of a guild.
Part of...
And we do odd jobs.
Oh, is that university guild? The one where they're hiring like...
With the gay man?
Yes.
What?
Yeah, gay man.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
It's the
name
magic.
is
It's
Gay
the magic
Man.
guild, dude.
The Magic Guild, did you say?
Yeah, the university. Yeah.
He
You got
looks pensive for a second, looking away before looking down at his book and looking up. He's like, "You guys might do."
I mean,
no,
Gorg
no.
is a pretty interesting specimen if you want to try him out.
Who are you referring to?
All of you guys. I'm writing a book. You see, I come from the
Down
east. No. Like I come from where it's relatively boring. And people over there, they will do anything to eat up something exciting, adventure, fighting dragons, looking for gold and treasure and fame. Like, that stuff sells back where I come from. But there's
We
nothing
got a
over
drug
there.
dealer.
Why
A
would
drug
you
dealer?
say that?
Oh, go on. And he's writing furiously in his book.
I mean, yeah. All right. Cool. Great.
What do you mean
Cool.
by you have a drug dealer? Which one of you is the drug dealer?
No, we caught a drug dealer.
You caught a drug dealer? Where did you catch him?
I'm just gonna put my
He was
hand
in the
around
in
my-
the tall grass.
I'm just gonna grip my axe while it's in its holster, just so I'm ready for anything.
You meant drug dealer? Like, was this part of a mission?
Yep.
And what drugs was he selling?
Stuff called sand.
Sand. Oh, that sounds so fantastical.
We have
It
some.
ain't.
Do you want to try some?
You have.
No, we
Oh
ain't
my.
selling the man drugs.
What about a cookie? They're delicious.
I'm
No.
all right. I've already had lunch, a relatively hearty one. But you hunted this drug
Sand-
dealer down as part of your job.
Well,
Isn't
part
this
of- it's
confidential?
optional part of the contract.
I mean, I gotta agree with Gorg for once.
Yeah. I'm just
Oh.
like doing the zip it motion to Biddy. Just...
Who are you anyway? I'll just say to him, just what
Me?
yes, you. Who else would I be talking to?
Very funny. Well, you might have heard of me. My name is Daladuf Hasgri.
Have I heard of him?
If you want to roll history checks.
Then also, can we get a spelling?
Fuck.
You can do, sure. Hold on. Biddy and Gorg, you've not heard of him, but you don't really read books. The closest you've ever gotten is to, like, comic books. And even then those...
Anime.
I went to
Anime, yeah.
university.
Pardon?
I went to
Canonized
university.
anime.
Oh, there you go. It's in the chat for you. Yeah, you went to university, but they didn't really have fiction over there. The closest you could get to fiction was a few comic books that were imported. Otherwise, everything there was either for educational purposes
Oh, he's
or for
he's
historical
fiction. Okay,
purposes.
that
Yeah,
makes sense. Yeah.
yeah. Same for you, Aaron. You don't really care about fiction or media like that. You've never really looked into it throughout your journeys. Regtharn, you've read quite a few books. You never really stick to fiction, but you have heard his name before. You've seen it on the shelf every once in a while at a few people's houses. You've seen quite a few books from him, even though you've not read them. And you're Riley. You've seen this guy's books on a few of the shelves. His stuff seemed a little bit dramatic. It didn't really seem like your sort of thing. During a period where you were very into adventure and exploration. But considering his line of work before, a book detailing like adventurers like yourself doesn't seem out of the realm of possibility.
Daladaf, did you say?
Yeah. Daladuff.
No, Daladaf. Nope, not heard of you at all. What do
I
you
mean,
do?
I don't really read.
I've read quite a few, well, at least been into them.
I've
really?
seen your books.
Well, what sort of stuff does he do? I haven't.
Oh, it's very interesting. You'd love it.
Oh,
I
he
I
looks a
think I have
little.
a few at home.
He looks a little happy as you mentioned that they're interesting.
What sort of books
They were
do you
part
do
of my
then?
education.
Well, you probably had a good education though, didn't you?
I did.
Being from.
Can I flip my hair?
You flick
Roll
your
for a hair
hair.
flip.
You accidentally pull
Performance
the
check.
hood of your coat down. You get blinded by the sun a little bit, and then you put it back up.
I looked fabulous. That's the
I
important part.
She
really
says
need
through
an
tears.
education.
I scratch my ass.
But yes, I've been writing this book recently, trying to capture the spirits of people making their own way in life. We've become so used to modern day conveniences now that people forget that there are people
Speaking of
going
making
out
our
Just
into the
go to the
world.
Marshlands. That's real interesting, buddy.
You're from the Harshlands?
Well, yeah.
Could I assume you guys are staying in Ronderia?
Yes.
When we make it back to town, yeah. But we ain't always gonna be there.
I'm taking a few
Yes,
notes
but we
down. I would love to hear stories about what you guys have done adventuring. Like, I'm sure some of you are heroes.
I am.
You could
I'm a
call us
hero.
heroes.
thought
I
you,
did that.
I thought you weren't interested in the book.
Not. No.
Well, either way,
Do you want us to just give our stories away for free, or what? What are you offering? Are you offering anything?
I'm just saying there are a lot of people that would be interested in the sort of things you
Oh, I
do
would
every
love
day.
to be part of it.
Interested in what? You make money off our stories and we get nothing?
Well, he ain't gonna copy it word for word. He's gonna make it all fancy schmancy. He's kind of like a bard, but he writes stuff down.
As we
Well,
say
if
in
you
the
use our
business,
stories.
it's more of an interpretation.
If you used our stories, we'd be entitled to royalties.
Can you give me a
Precisely
six pack?
what I was thinking.
Can you give me a six pack?
Gog.
And add a
Look.
couple extra feet onto my height.
I think
He's
Comet's
writing
doing
this down
something good. I'm gonna
frantically.
check on Comet.
What?
Please don't
Comment?
pet the horse. Also, sir, don't touch our horse.
Oh, that's a bad idea.
I would never
No,
dream
he's
of
friendly.
it. Make a
Deception.
no. What?
Persuasion.
Persuasion check.
But I'm lying to him. So no.
Persuasion check. Or
damn
dishonest.
it.
They're the same check.
Yeah, but my deception's higher as well.
Yeah.
18.
You said it's a nice horse.
Yeah, no, he's friendly. We
She?
managed. Yeah, my bad. We found her in an. We bought her off some person. He
Can
gave
I
us.
smack him upside the head?
Don't misgender the horse.
Drink tech.
What the? Why?
Because you are lying to this innocent man that our horse is not a fucking demon.
I mean, I've paired
my
her just fine
She's
before.
nice at moments.
She's
Oh,
fine.
oh,
she's
you know what? I'll pet the horse.
Do not pet the horse.
Animal
I mean-
handling, Regtharn.
Oh no.
Oh no.
This is gonna be great. Oh
Wow.
fuck.
I'm just gonna get envious.
Well,
Yeah.
my nat 20 horse being
Yeah.
fine with me.
Michael, you stand up, you get out of the cart, you walk to the side, and you're like, the horse is harmless. And you start to stroke, like, the neck, and Gorg, you flinch a little bit, you know what's going to happen, but it doesn't
we all
seem to come. And then Comet turns around and looks at you in the eyes.
I want to pet the horse.
See, our
Roll
horse is
animal
fine.
handling with disadvantage.
Oh no.
The horse doesn't like you. That's what it is.
Look who gets disadvantage now.
The horse doesn't.
Yes.
Oh no.
Yes.
The horse doesn't like you.
Yes.
Yeah, you stand up and you go to pet the horse like in the neck, the same place that Michael's trying to stroke it, and the horse snaps at you, like it literally snaps its teeth at you with a clack, and you flinch backwards.
I hate to say it, Gul, but I don't
He's
think
gonna
Comet
start
likes
getting
you.
PTSD.
I want to pet the horse again.
Do it. Do it. Do it.
The animal handling check
Disadvantage.
disadvantage.
You're getting bitten.
Yeah, you stroke the horse, and it, like the horse seems to relax a little bit, and it's calm, and you manage to soothe like her neck, and you just stroke her, and you've not really had a chance to stroke her as close as you have to like this before, and it's kind of nice. And you turn to the writer, and you're like, see, she's harmless, and you got to get back up onto the cart, and as you get onto the side of the wagon, she kicks you off. And you go flying a solid 5 meters in midair. Take a D4 damage.
Oh god.
You literally feel the kick get taken out of all of your lungs.
Oh.
The wind out
that's
of
okay.
all your lungs. You managed to land relatively comfy, but that shit hurts. Especially
I
considering...
just imagine I got winded, so I'm
Yeah.
just like,
You have a horseshoe-shaped bruise on your butt now.
Well, it'll be on his shoulder, because he's a dwarf.
Is he,
Oh,
is
is
he
it the
wearing his
same
armor?
shoulder?
Yes.
Is he wearing his armor?
Yes, he is.
He's
Is
just
it
got a
the
dent
s-
in his armor.
Is it the same shoulder as the arrow?
Yeah. I've been imagining it's the left
You
shoulder.
okay?
I just thumbs up.
Yeah, no, the horse is definitely friendly, but I think it's got a grudge against our friend over here.
He's not very charismatic.
Are you saying that your horse is like a sort of antagonistic character?
Well,
She's a
maybe.
character, that's for sure.
Right. And he writes all this down.
We're just giving away our IP right now. Come on.
Gorg, can you
The
write?
fuck's an IP?
Intellectual property.
Yeah, I knew that. Thanks for reminding me.
Biddy
of the
just
memory.
gives you Riley this very blank look.
I like to imagine Gorg was just talking about how he didn't want anyone to read about him peeing.
Yeah.
Like that's his story. But yeah, he writes all those down and he says to you, listen, I've got a few more stories that I need to fill this book out with. Could I perhaps interview some of you in Ronderia? Or over free food, of course, it would be my treat. But
I mean, I'd like
Hell yeah.
royalties.
All right, I'm down for free food.
I'll
can't-
do it for free food.
I can't discuss
I'll
business
fix
on the
it.
open road, but I am glad that a lot of you are interested. But
I'm not giving you a ride if that's what you're asking.
no, I've got people to meet with. But
Okay.
I would love to meet up with you and discuss adventures.
You can find me at the bar.
Yeah. Anyway, bon chance, and I will see you soon. And he starts to
Oh, it was
walk off.
wonderful
What did you
meeting
say?
such a childhood idol.
Aw. He puts a
What's-
hand over his heart and he gives you a smile before bowing and turning around.
I just like lean over to you,
Bye,
Riley.
Mr. Dally Duff.
I lean over to you, Riley. I'm like, what does bon chance mean?
What does what mean?
Bon chance.
Oh, it's just a fancy way of saying goodbye.
Oh,
You don't
okay.
need to worry your little head with that.
Bon chance.
He gives you a wave.
Bye, Mr. Dally Duff.
I want everyone to make a Constitution saving roll.
Oh, no.
Here it comes.
Mushroom.
Now-
Yes.
Oh, Biddy with disadvantage.
What? Oh, because I ate 2?
Oh shit!
Yeah.
I just did disadvantage.
Wait.
didn't
Oh,
I?
do
We
we all
always
just...
take the left result. The only one this doesn't apply to is Ragtharn, by the way.
Yeah, thanks.
So should I just
Fucking
roll
hell.
again?
Yes.
No, you got the same roll.
Okay.
Yeah. Biddy, you start to see the world like it's made of cotton wool, and it is incredibly enjoyable. Like, you still manage to...
What?
Hmm?
Okay, no, go keep going.
You still manage to you're smart enough to realize, oh shit, those mushrooms were good mushrooms, and your brain sort of splits into two. You've got one half which is incredibly sober, making sure that you're driving this horse all right and looking out for the rest of the party, and the other brain which is just having a hell of a time, just enjoying how you're basically in Kirby's Dreamland.
Can you please play the Kirby theme?
I love the Kirby theme. It's so adorable.
Kirby theme. Kirby theme. Kirby.
I can't
theme.
just load it up on this, but if you want to post it in chat and play it for yourselves, you can. Yes. Who was next? Oh, Mikolash. Mikolash, you start to notice holes in your hand, and you start trying to scratch them. And these holes are gradually getting bigger as you scratch at them, and you're trying to scratch the holes away. Gorg,
Yo.
are you driving the horse right now?
Yep.
Yeah.
Wait, no, was Biddy driving?
No,
was it
Biddy
me?
was co-pilot.
Okay, yeah, I'm driving.
You
How many units of mushrooms did I eat?
You ate one.
Okay.
Yeah, you're starting to gouge out, and the horse is starting to talk to you.
Comet?
You're finally bonding.
I was gonna say he hates it.
Comet, I'm sorry.
on
I'm
you,
sorry
don't
I
worry.
tried to pet you twice.
You will all die.
What?
And then the horse is silent.
Do we see him talking to the horse?
Gorg? Like,
Yeah.
you see Gorg say, I'm sorry. Well, I'm sorry, Regthon and Biddy see that because they're both kind of sober. However, Urieli,
Oh no.
you've never really noticed the sun before. You've spent a lot of time under your hood because it's sensitive to you. You've got sensitive skin and it hurts to stay in the sunlight for too long. You've never really had a look at it, and you get the feeling that maybe the sun would be alright if you gave it a chance. So you take
Oh
off
no.
you take off your hood and you just look at the sun for like 10 seconds. Everything sort of goes a weird colour, and now you don't quite know where you're looking.
Does it hurt or do I just ignore it?
It doesn't hurt, but you can't see anything.
Do any of us notice this?
Regtharn, you are stone cold sober.
Oh yeah.
You notice the cart slowly veering off the side of the road before you hear Biddy let out a few panic noises and just manage to like slightly direct it in the right direction. But you just notice everyone's pupils are taking up 90% of their eyes, and you're not entirely sure why.
Did you mix up Mekalash and Rekthon again?
Regtharn, I meant.
I'm sober.
Yeah. What?
Yes.
Yeah. Regtharn, you're the sober one. But you've just
Yes.
noticed everyone else has suddenly started acting a little bit weird.
Yes.
Okay, never mind.
Yeah. And as you all slowly start to freak out, you go to where you think is Ronderia.
Oh no.
Can I check
I'm just
we're
like,
going the
"Comet."
right way?
Don't
What?
ignore me.
What did you say,
Can I just
Regtharn?
check we're going the right way?
You have a look around. This seems... make a survival check.
I'm playing the Kirby thing.
Oh
and
yeah.
it's
You are
great.
definitely... You remember this way here. You're still on the path that was like... You've just left the path that the other adventurers gave you a map of, and you're now on the main road. You reckon as long as you stick to this road, eventually you'll be able to make it there fine. Like, it's not a big worry.
Sweet.
As long as they
I think
don't
Comet
turn
wants to
the wrong
kill
way.
us.
You see the horse turn and stare at you, but it's completely quiet.
Okay, never mind. I think Comet wants to kill me.
We already knew that. Am I just
Is that a
swaying back
problem?
and forth?
You're sort of sitting in your seat and you're just thinking about how rich you are, and
Sounds like something I'd do even without the mushroom.
Yeah.
and then you start thinking of
I'm
this,
so rich.
and then you start thinking about if you had all of your gold coins, what would happen if they were made out of chocolate, and then you have a multi-million gold coin idea of making chocolate coins, and then you're like, no, that's dumb. I'm dumb.
Ah.
But then you start thinking about how tasty chocolate coins would be.
So this is how I build my fortune in the future.
I like to imagine Biddy is just bopping to the Kirby music going on in her head.
Kirby music, but it's made of bagpipes.
Yes.
She's humming, but it's really off key.
Am I just like sizzling in the sun?
Yeah, you're sort of burning a little bit up. But
Do I notice it? Other than the
It's-
sound?
no, absolutely not.
I'm just
It's
fascinated by my phone. Like,
partly
guys, listen to my skin.
Since I'm partly sober, do I notice this?
What bit like
My sizzling.
this is the
The
first.
fact that she's taking her hood off.
You turn around after a while to make sure everyone else is all right, and you count and you're like, yep, there's Regthon, there's Mikolash, there's some random girl. Wait, and then you notice that you've never seen her with her hood down, and you just blink with separate eyelids before you're like,
Like the lizard.
you're Riley. But yeah, it takes you like a hot minute to realize that you're
I mean, I've
Riley.
probably been without
is
my
there.
hood inside.
Occasionally, but bearing in mind you've not been without your hood while Biddy's been high.
Fair enough.
You look different, Riley.
Can I just start sniffing my hair?
You try and grab like a piece of your hair from behind your
I
ears,
have
but your
very long
hands,
hair.
yeah,
Sounds
but
Very
your
long,
my
thick
beard.
hair.
your hands are very discoordinated. Make a dex check.
Oh, I can do that.
This is
If
be
it's
a
gonna do
long
something.
journey.
Yeah, you
I
eventually
feel like
manage.
my hair hasn't been combed for like a week while we've been out, so it's just very thick and knotty.
Yeah, you manage to grab a handful of hair
Like
and you
orcs.
sniff it a little bit, and Biddy, you hear a mumble under her breath saying, "Skin spaghetti."
I'm sorry.
Skin-getty.
What?
My stomach growls.
I just my head just reach a hand out with hair towards it. It's like, smell it. It's delicious.
Yeah, Gorg, you're gouching out again still, and you start to get hungry, and you feel around your pocket, and you manage to find a little bit of food.
Oh no. I eat it.
You eat it. All right, take away one horse feed.
Oh god. How does it taste?
It tastes crunchy. Not
Ah,
bad.
yes, my favorite flavor, crunchy.
Guys, I just found a Toblerone in my pocket. Does anyone want one?
Yeah,
I
I'll
just
take
start
one.
I just start eating my hand instead, chewing on
I
it.
look at Ragthar and I'm like, I don't think your
Okay.
Riley's okay.
Can I put it together that the mushrooms did this? Even though my hands are like holes, but do I realize that it was probably the mushroom?
Am I
Uh,
sitting next to Mikolash?
Just to say what sort of you're sitting next to Mikolash. Just to say what sort
I
of
try
mental
to put my hand
state.
through his hand holes.
I'm just to say what sort of mental state Mikolash is in. He's just putting a finger between two of his other fingers, but the way he's looking at it, it's like he's poking a hole in his hand.
Yep.
And then you
Oh.
see your hand get covered in some sort of weird hair, and your eyes go
Weird-
incredibly wide.
What does the hair look like spaghetti?
It looks vaguely like spaghetti.
It's
Yes.
white.
Can I eat it?
Sure.
Roll a survival check.
I'm going to bite.
Mikolash has
I'm
gotten high 2
Uh,
nights in a row.
I think
Uh,
I rolled a
He's tried to
17.
eat me both times.
I rolled
I,
a 17 on my card. And
I'm
it's
gonna
still
say,
not
I'm gonna say, Riley, roll a wisdom check to see if you notice him eating your hair.
I mean, I'm probably chewing on my own hair.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's why I thought you mixed them up because I figured 17 would be alright.
Yeah, no, I rolled a 17, but
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Bear in
Okay,
mind,
well,
you're still
doesn't matter,
eating
one in
magic
each.
mushrooms that you've never had
Oh, of
before.
course, yeah.
Biddy rolled like a 19 and she's only half sober.
yeah, no, that's why I was confused.
You rolled a nat 20.
No,
it's
disadvantage.
No, I
yeah.
get to roll again.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize.
Bear in mind, I have different stages of success. It's not just a case of you're high or you're not high. So, like,
Right.
yeah. Like if she had managed to roll 2 nat 20s with disadvantage, it would have been a case of no, you're fine. But like, yeah.
The 19 makes all the difference.
Yeah, you're Riley. You notice him eating your hair, but you can't blame him because it tastes really fucking good.
Does it taste nice to me? Is it?
It's crunchy.
God.
Can I just start? I want to start going off on my hair routine. how
She
many
doesn't look
products
like
I
she'd have
use.
alopecia.
How does
I don't
it,
imagine they're biting it off, just chewing on it.
it's crunchy. It's weird. Why does it taste so nice? It's
Oh, I use cocoa butter and papaya extract. It smells so good. Sometimes I use kiwi. It's so delicious, and
Gold just like
I
what the
leave
fuck's
it in
all
for a
this?
long time, and then I use silver shampoo to make it extra white. Oh, and it smells like lavender.
Yeah,
Just
that's
That's
what
what makes sense.
that's what you hear in
Chewing
your
on
head,
animal meat
Riley.
while I'm-
That's what you hear in your head.
I
Aaron,
feel like I probably just
you-
say cocoa butter, papaya, kiwi.
like Aaron,
Yeah.
like Mikalash, you taste her hair and you're like, why does this taste so good? And you just look over and she just goes,
um not quite the answer I was looking for, but okay.
She can speak horse.
Micklash, I don't think your Riley's doing real great.
Have you tried this?
No, I'm full.
Ah, that's fair. When she says that, do I realize mushrooms and then the effect? This is probably what it was doing.
I'm gonna say make a wisdom save.
Say
No, wisdom check. Sorry.
5.
Five.
Ouch.
Yeah. The vague thought of mushrooms enters your head, but it quickly leaves as you start thinking of all the food that you could eat. Starting with hair.
Yep.
And then you feel like you might cry because this hair just tastes so fucking good.
I've tried Golg's beard.
I look
That's a good
at
way to
Red
get
Brown.
drunk.
Yeah, that's
Can,
true.
can you put her hood back on? It's really weirding me out.
Regthan, do you?
What's that story?
She asked you to put Riley's hood back up because it's freaking her out.
Yeah, why not?
Alright, you put the hood back up, and
I just look up like, why'd you do that? The sun was so nice.
yeah, you are now encased in darkness, and it's cool as shit. You're Riley.
Oh, this has so much better in the darkness. You should try it.
Really? I didn't think that would affect anything.
Can I try
but-
to like get him under my hood with me? But there's obviously not enough room.
you can try.
I mean, I have a cloak, so I would have a hood
Okay.
as well.
All right, fair
So
enough.
if we
No,
combine
I'm just gonna
hoods-
start doing it, and then I'm just gonna start trying.
I'm still just wearing my weird party outfit.
And Riley, Regthan, and Mikalash, I want you to all make perception checks. Regthan, no, sorry, everyone apart from Regthan does it with disadvantage.
Oh no.
Oh yeah.
Does it with disadvantage?
Yeah.
Say
That
again,
could've been
sorry.
worse.
Regthan,
Nat
Mikalash, and
20
Riley.
at disadvantage.
That's the way it works.
It hurts, it doesn't it?
That's where all my good rolls go. They go to the bin.
Yeah.
With
The
Uh,
ones you used up in the beginning.
those
Regthan,
were bad ones.
you're mostly
Oh, that's right. It was.
yeah, you're mostly having fun just watching these two trying to fit two heads into a single hood. They keep headbutting each other by accident, and it's fucking funny. But then you notice a little bit of movement just behind them, and you notice the guy in the back has been pretending to sleep, and he's trying to wiggle out of his binds.
Oh no.
Oh, can I just knock him the fuck out again?
You have your staff, don't you? You have your fucking.
Oh yeah, can I just use my retractable staff? Just
And
to
make
knock
a
him the
strength
fuck out?
make a strength check.
Yes. Ah,
Oh.
oh, no, that's the wrong thing. That's the wrong thing.
That's a save. That's a
Doesn't
save.
Fair enough.
You probably won't have.
Oh,
God for that.
figure beauty. Yeah. You guys all like jump out of your skin as you hear this loud clacking as he essentially like just makes this baton extend in his hand, and he slams it down and it just hits a piece of the wood of the wagon, and everyone just jumps out of their skin, and the guy jumps so hard he falls off the back of the wagon.
Do I see this?
No,
Hey, can you stop? He's fallen off.
Can someone else
Uh.
tell Comet to stop? I'm scared.
Man overboard!
Yes.
Billy just grabs the reins off you and gently reins them back so that the wagon turns around, and you see the guy on the road struggling really hard to
I
try and
imagine
get
he's,
free.
like, worming
Wiggling
away.
like a worm.
Yeah.
Yeah, he doesn't manage to get free. He rolled a nat one. What
I
do you?
jump out of the car and immediately fall on my face.
Well, make a dex check.
I'm
Oh.
chilling in the cart still. I ain't moving this.
I'm
hair
waiting
takes
for him to
nice.
roll on that one, and he falls on his face.
I'm assuming we're not seeing
Oh.
anything inside my hood.
Wait, is that right?
Yeah.
No,
The-
dexterity.
Yeah.
Checking it.
Yeah, dexterity check.
Is there a dexterity check?
The one
Yeah.
on the left.
I mean,
Left
if
of-
you don't
less of
have
dexterity save.
proficiency in it, they're the same rolls anyway.
I don't know if he has. I don't think he does.
How do I make it a check and not a save?
It's to
You
the
just
left to
press-
save.
Just to
I
the left of the.
I gotcha.
Yeah.
I gotcha.
Yeah, no, they're both -2.
Yeah.
Doesn't-
Yeah.
I say we take the 11 one, but yeah, you fall on your face. Like,
Cool.
cause Biddy's still driving the car, you think that it's going like 50 miles an hour, and and you're prepared to do like the jump off the car move,
Yeah.
and you just stumble a little bit, and then you fall on your side, and you're like, ow. What about the rest of you? Do you look at this thing? Mikolash and Uriah, you eventually notice that everyone else has noticed something else, but this hood is so comfortable.
Yeah, I combine our hoods to make a big hood.
Aw.
I just, with my face in the ground, I just yelled, "Stop, criminal scum!"
Committed crimes against Skyrim.
Oh my god.
Can I get Comet to stop?
You managed to get her to stop relatively easily.
Can I jump off now that we're stopped?
You jump off. I'd say make a dex check as well because you're in a rush and you're a short little man.
Ah!
6. You jump off the back and you stumble a little bit. You hurt your ankle a little bit, but you recover soon enough to catch up to the guy on the ground.
Can I get off to go help him?
Yeah, you get off as well to try and help. What do you guys do with the guy who's wiggling on the ground? He appears to
Gonna hit him
be
again.
all right. Make an unarmed attack.
God fucking-
You watch this midget extend this baton that's longer than him and just start beating this guy like it's some sort of tree branch. And this guy's just getting angrier and angrier. He's cursing at you in a language you don't understand as you're just slightly whacking him across the thighs and
Do I
arm.
hear it? Do I understand it? Even if I'm.
Oh.
No, I'm not going to count that unless you specifically wanted to whack him over the head with a club.
I did actually.
Okay, roll damage.
Well, do I hear what he's
Don't-
saying?
But you don't want to kill him.
Yeah, you guys, you hear shouting from behind you. You kind of ignore it for a while, but then you hear a hollow clunk, and you turn around, and Biddy's just got like a slightly bloodied club that she's cleaning, as the guy just sits there in the middle of the road.
Are we able to see how much HP this guy has?
Is he dead?
You can do a medical check if you want to see.
I'll do a medical check.
All right.
Have we
So-
emerged from our hood?
I mean, I didn't
Yes.
want to kill him.
If I heard, well, you said he was speaking another language. What language was he speaking?
Shit, was it Undercommon? Which one's the
If it-
Tiefling language?
Tiefling language is
Infernal.
Infernal,
Yeah.
which I could understand if I.
Yeah. Infernal. Yeah, he's speaking Infernal, but it mostly just appears to be curses. Like, nothing of real interest can be gauged.
He ain't saying anything anymore.
He's not saying anything.
Yeah.
I just sit back down.
Yeah.
Unheard.
Regthon, you go up to him, you turn him around, you put your hand over, like, his, like, nose hole, and you get quite a bit of blood on your hand, but eventually you feel what feels like a breath, and you're like, hey, he's alright.
Did you just refer to a nostril as a nose hole?
No!
Yeah.
He doesn't have a nose!
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Oh,
because
yeah.
Comet pumped it in.
I'm so glad you decided to do mushrooms
Oh,
out of character
right,
to
I
really get
forgot
into
about
the mindset. But yeah, I assume you pick him back up and load him back on the cart?
I mean, I
We
don't
feed
know
the
what
horse a
I'm-
cookie.
What am I
No.
capable of?
No.
No one knows that. No,
What are you
don't know I am
capable of,
like it.
Gorg?
Oh no,
Well,
yeah,
you gave
I'm
me a
still-
cookie.
Yeah, no, don't
Am I
mind.
still like just laid on the ground?
No, you
thought
managed.
you
You
were-
get up eventually. It was just a fall because it was quite a high jump.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah. But
Well,
How many fucking? I have rolled almost 3 20s in a row.
damn.
she's on a roll.
I
Bet
think
big.
I've rolled one ever.
She's on a hot streak. Put all in. All on red. I don't have a problem.
I think the Kirby music is my good luck.
But yeah, what do you guys do now with this unconscious man with many bruises?
Can I
Carry on
do a
back
medical
to-
check?
Lumps on his
town.
head.
Sorry, what?
I'll get a medical, but I'll do a medical check if I can.
You can try disadvantage. What did you say, Michael?
Let's start heading back to town.
Yeah.
Ugh.
11. You look over this guy. He's not dead, probably.
Okay.
Can I
Good
just
enough for
pick
me.
him back up and huck him into the fucking wagon?
Yeah, you pick him up and you chuck him back in like a suitcase. And he just clonks down on the thing with a pretty heavy thud. And
Fucking dead.
Urieli and Mikelash, you just sort of jump a little bit as this body lands between both of you, breaking up your like head scarf sharing session.
What? Bullshit.
Yep.
having
a
Get
good
a
time.
room, you
I'm-
two.
I'm angry at him, so I'm gonna punch him in like the ribs.
Oh,
Unarmed
God.
attack.
Just like
Kill him.
Poor
it's
man.
ungreek as shit. There we go. 3.
Okay,
Oh, it's 10. Not with disadvantage.
Yeah.
Oh.
I would say that this would be a regular roll because you're high, but he's unconscious, and we take the 10. Yeah. You managed to get an attack off on him. It mostly glances off of him. You don't really
Fine.
do any damage, but
Wasn't planning to.
but you get your anger out.
Nice.
Yeah. And
Yeah. Get a room when we get back to town, you two.
Alright, let's
what
just-
for? Look at her, like, no idea what she's on about.
you already have your own rooms, so it doesn't really make sense.
Yeah, no, that's. But we have rooms.
We could build a pillow fort.
I just point at her like I like that. Good idea. We do that.
Oh,
I just shake my head and I get back up on the. I wait. I try to yeet Ragthar and Gorg back into the wagon too.
you just sort of pick them up by the scruff of their collars and you just put them in the back.
Get back to the front of the wagon to start back on.
Gorg, you are no longer in the front of the wagon, but you are far
Yeah,
away
cool.
from the horse.
Thank.
You feel a little bit more relaxed. As you gradually manage to ride to the town, your highness slowly starts to subside, and eventually sense
Your
starts to
Highness.
happen.
Are we royalty now?
Everything
Highness.
starts to make sense.
I am.
And as you ride in, you slowly start to get weird looks from nearby farmers and people who just see 5 people with relatively large pupils, covered in blood.
Hang on, I'm not high.
No, you're not high, but they can't really see your pupils because you're so low down. But they see 5 people, most of which are high, all of you covered, almost all of you covered in some sort of blood, and just a really bruised, tied-up man in the back. And
We're heroes.
Are we past the windmill yet? Or...
I'm gonna say you would have gone past the middle. Did you want to stop there?
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. I
Yeah,
don't
he's
know.
asked for it.
What I'm gonna say is that considering you're going out for a contract the next day, you probably wouldn't want to stop with a drug dealer in the back of your carriage.
Yeah, I agree.
I guess it was going to be literally for 5 minutes to get a reward, but yeah.
Yeah. You can always go visit him later in
Get
the
on
night.
way out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, as you slowly start to head into town, many people giving you perplexed and a little bit scared looks. I'm gonna say that's where we end the session for today.
Aw.
I know, but
Didn't
I've,
even get to build a pillow fort.
I've got a lot planned. I genuinely, unironically, I want to see the D&D party build a pillow fort.
Well, it's not going to be the party, it's me.
No, it's just gonna be the 2 of us.
Oh come on, get the kids involved too.
No.
No,
Have you-
they don't get to be
hang on,
part
have
of
you
our
edited the
emo
stream yet?
cult.
You know?
I would just be
Exactly.
part of the fort.
Hey Liam,
Yes. No,
We ended the
no,
stream.
no, not
Or
yet.